maybe just a thought on what you've seen from them and the type of matchup you expect it to be.
Obviously a really deep team, in the conference final, so everybody's going to be a good team, but they got scoring all over. I think Robert said 8 20-goal scorers, something like that. Incredibly deep, good D, great goalie. They're a really good team. It'd be a good test.
How much are they different from last year, Connor?
Obviously adding Rantanen helps. Obviously he's played really well. Their power play seems to be really clicking. Scored a big goal last night, so it's going to be tough. But we're excited for the challenge, as we always are.
How much of this is really about you guys, with all due respect to Dallas and how good a squad they have? It's about your group and how you've collectively grown during the course of the playoffs and how you're rolling over 4 lines and vastly improved 5-on-5 from maybe where you were a year ago. As good as Dallas is, we're a good team too. And we've beaten 2 really good teams in LA and Vegas, and as you said, our 5-on-5 game's been really, really good. Specialty teams will need to get going here. Power play starts with the power play. Obviously, power play's got to find a way to be a factor in the series, and we will. Yeah.
You seem to be deeper and more experienced this time around than you guys were last year. How are you feeling about your group? Just the fact that everyone's kind of making contributions to get you to this point.
It's been great. As you said, lots going to be talked about how Dallas is a deep team and all that, but we're a deep team too. Been rolling 4 lines. 4 lines have been effective scoring, defending well, and everybody kind of plays a role on the specialty teams as well. So. We're a good team. We know that. 3rd time in the conference final in the last 4 years, so it's becoming more normal. I think that's a good thing. This doesn't feel like it's anything other than ordinary at this point to be in this position, all while being understanding that it's a unique situation and we got to take advantage of these opportunities.
Rantanen is he's kind of rolling in his playoffs here. What kind of challenge does he present just on his own, I guess?
He's a big man. He's really smart, good in battles. Sees the ice really well. He's been doing it for a really long time as well. He's perennial 100-point guy. He scores 50 goals. So he's a great player who we'll need to keep an eye on throughout the series.
There was so much uncertainty for this team down the stretch with a bunch of guys out and all the injuries and everything. Did you guys expect that you would be here at this point, or did you kind of prove something to yourselves along the way as you came together?
I used to say the word belief every time I do a media scrum, but we believe in our group, believe in each other, believe that no matter who's in the lineup at any given night that we're going to win. I think our best hockey is only still coming. I think we've been building throughout the playoffs, and you've seen our game get better and better as we've gone. And I think our best hockey is still to be played.
This is a team that you have eliminated. Does that count for anything when you see them again? I mean, you tasted a little bit of that against Los Angeles, and you had it yourself against Vegas.
Honestly, I think every year is different. New players, a new series. We talk about there's no momentum from game to game. Certainly, there's nothing from year to year. So, this is a brand new opportunity for us, a brand new challenge, and we're excited about it.
Health-wise, how are you guys feeling? I know last year, towards the end there were a lot of banged up bodies here, but you guys look like you're really healthy going into this series. How are you guys feeling about how everyone's kind of feeling, and outside of the 2 guys that are out?
I think guys are feeling good. Obviously, we've had lots of time here in between series. Still have a couple more days to go. Guys are healthy. Guys are refreshed and recharged. We're in a good spot.
Connor, on a personal level, your ice time's down a touch just a little bit because of all the contributions you are getting. Personally, how are you feeling at this stage of the postseason compared to last year?
Yeah, I feel great.
You discussed maybe just having 2 goalies that there's lots of confidence in and available to you depending on who's healthy, who's hot, and just the situation.
I think you're seeing that more and more across the league. Kind of 2 goalie tandems. We feel confident in both guys. both guys have provided us with an opportunity to win games, and we believe in both of them, and whoever's in there is going to give us a chance to win.
What you thought of Zach Hyman kind of tweaking his game here in the playoffs and being a bit of a wrecking ball? Like he's a physical player during the year, but he's kind of gone next level with this.
Yeah, he's playing hard, like everyone is, but he's played really hard, finishing his checks. He's a really big man who skates well, gets in on the forecheck hard, goes to the net hard. I know I wouldn't want to be a D-man with him on the ice. He makes it tough on the forecheck, makes it tough in front of the net. He's played really well.
Go ahead.
You have lots of depth up front. You bring a guy like Kapanen in who hadn't played and immediately makes impact. Skinner's sitting there ready to go. Do you feel pretty loaded for Bear here as a forward unit?
Yeah, we feel good about where we're at. We feel good about the 12 guys that are in, and know that, you mentioned Skinner, but RV as well. We got guys sitting out that are more than ready and capable to come in and contribute and make big plays at big times. And whoever's in the lineup, as I said, we feel like we can win, no matter who's in or who's out.
Matthias Ekholm, Kris said that he may be able to come back in this round. I guess just how big would that be for the group to get a guy like that back in the fold here?
Yeah, it'd be massive, obviously. Eki is a big part of our group, has been for a while now, ever since he came here. So, to get him back healthy and refreshed would be, a real advantage at this point. I guess kind of like their Heiskanen, obviously. Him coming back and being healthy again. So, similar situation, I guess, and he'd be a huge boost, obviously.
That you guys won against them before, and your thoughts about them?
Yeah, it was definitely a strong fought battle by both teams. I think that the way that they play is pretty similar. Obviously, a little bit of a different team, just with different players and stuff. But they're good on all ends of the ice. They know how to win games. They've been in the third round for how many years now, and so a team that's hungry, and we know that it's going to be another hard fight.
As the opposing netminder, how does Mikko Rantanen change the complexion of that team?
Yeah, he's obviously incredibly high-end player. Knows how to find guys in good spots. Has a really good shot, good vision. So obviously a huge threat on the power play too. So he definitely changes some things. But that's what kind of happens when you get to the top four teams.
How much are you looking forward to the head-to-head battle against Jake Ottinger, of course, one of the best goalies in the world as well?
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We've definitely had our battles throughout many seasons now. He's a great guy, competes hard, obviously one of the best goalies in the world for a reason. It's always impressive to watch him play, and it's always just a lot of fun to have that challenge in front of me.
You guys went into the series last year with Dallas off 7 games in Vancouver, so it was tough. It was a quick turnaround. Have a bit more time to kind of catch your breath this time around. How does that change maybe the complexion going into the series?
Yeah, it just helps us feel a little bit more well rested. I know, obviously, especially through playoffs, you get some banged up bodies, you get bruises. In Stetcher's case, a couple pucks to the nose, but he can't catch a break. But so it just gives us some more time, just let our bodies heal, let our minds rest for a little bit, watch some hockey. Obviously, give us some time to pre-scout Dallas now. It just gives you that much more rest.
What do you remember kind of how that series went, how it felt, the dynamic, kind of understanding that, whoever got through there was off to the cup final? Yeah,
there's a lot of nerves pretty well every game. Every game was super close. There wasn't a game where it was a complete blowout. Obviously the first game went into double overtime. Next game was super tight. What I remember from that is just kind of winning games by 1 goal, 2 goals, or losing by 1 or 2 goals. So again, they're so good in all ends of the ice. So we definitely have to make sure that we're prepared and willing to pay a price to, go through this series and hopefully try to get to the finals again.
Did you hear Connor sort of I don't know what the right way to put it is, but he kind of had your back the other night, like he sort of said it hopes it shuts everybody up. And did you hear that? And what do you think when you hear that?
Yeah, I didn't hear it. Like, again, I don't really look at anything, but I heard it from somebody else. Yeah, I mean, it was great to hear that. I mean, I know that he's had my back for many, many years. He knows what it's like. I mean, he's been through it too. Everyone who plays in Edmonton is going to go through it. It's just kind of the nature of being an Oiler. But yeah, I mean, that's why, I mean, he's such a great captain. He's a great leader. And the fact that he's willing to say that for me shows a lot of, courage on his part, and just shows a lot of love too. So, I mean, he's a fantastic guy. We all know him, and he's calm. He's just a great guy in the room. So, thanks, Davo.
So let me ask you this. So you guys talk about shutting out all the outside noise. There's some of it that's negative, but there's also a pile of love coming your way too. So can you filter the good through, or is it nothing? If you're not going to listen to the bad, the good doesn't get through either.
Yeah, I mean, depends who you are. For me, when I first came into the league, I learned really quickly to kind of shut off all that social media and stuff. Even though you get a ton of love, which is amazing, for whatever reason, I'm not too sure if this is for everybody. I mean, if it's for you guys, but if you read one negative comment and 1,000 good ones, the one that sticks to you when you're going to bed is the one negative one. So for me, it was just like, what's the point? Even if you get a ton of love, even if you get a ton of hate, it really doesn't make a difference in my life. I'm still going to wake up the next day. The sun's still going to be out. I'm going to be able to do my job and do my work. So for me, I was just like, I don't really see a point into it. Again, it just doesn't affect me in whatever way. So why even read about it?
Going into this series off back-to-back shutouts, what does that do, I guess, for your confidence, psyche, and then the defense in front of you seems to be coming together as well? Yeah,
again, the guys we've just been really improving every single game. You can really see that. We've been improving series to series, and that's going to continue. I truly believe that. For me, getting the back-to-back shutout obviously feels good, but it's pretty far in the past now at this point. Again, it was just trying to give my team a chance to win and being able to just, get out of the series against Vegas. So now, I mean, that's just kind of in the past, and going into Dallas, it's a completely new series, new game. But my job stays the same, give my team a chance to win.
You guys have played just a ton of playoff hockey over the last 3-4 years. I mean, just how valuable is that as you're seeing in like situation after situation? We've been here, we've been there, we know what to do, we know we have this belief.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's massive. I know for myself personally, being able to be in the situation that I've been in, even just this whole season, postseason, all that. If I didn't have the experience in the past years, I could have been in a lot of a darker place. So yeah, I think experience has so much to do with going forward and being able to find ways to win and just staying mature about kind of the way things are going. So. Again, like we have a veteran team, right? Guys who have won the cup, guys who have been to the finals, guys who have played a long time. So it gives us a huge advantage, and just gives us that maturity level of we have been here before. We know what to do. We know what to expect as well. So whatever comes your way, a lot less chance of you getting rattled, I think, is the best way to put it.
There were so many guys that were injured heading down the stretch, yourself included. But do you see, like, you come out of the other side of that tunnel now, and you see, like, it's really coming together the way I'm not sure a lot of people expected it to?
Yeah, I think, that's another huge thing with playoffs, too, is having guys that are just healthy, right? When you start losing guys, it truly makes a big difference. So the fact that we do have pretty well everyone healthy, is massive for us, especially going down the stretch. You definitely see guys kind of coming out, especially at the end of the season there, and being able to have the bodies that we have is going to be big.
Mindset of what the goal is here in this little break you guys have between rounds. Is it just getting everybody on the same page now you're able to do some homework on the Dallas Stars?
Yeah, today we presented a little bit on
Dallas and what their identity is, a little bit on their systems, their goaltender, stuff like that. And, optional practice today. And then tomorrow we'll have full practice before we head out to Dallas. So I think it's just, obviously the rest is really important for our guys. And just everyone's got their bumps and bruises and make the most of that. But also, there's no benefit of practicing consecutive days this point of the year. We're not changing our systems. We're not introducing anything. It's just staying sharp. And I think with the time that we have, we just had a couple quality practices and then get ready for that game one.
Kris, how does this Dallas Stars team differ from the one you saw last year, beginning with Mikko Rantanen?
I think their style of play is almost identical. I don't think they've changed anything with their systems or really how they approach the game. With the trade with Rantanen, obviously being the biggest one, that changes their identity a little bit. Looking through the rosters from last year, from our team to theirs, I think each team has probably 5 or 6 new players. So, the team is a little bit different, but I think the identity of the systems that each one's playing is very similar.
I want to ask you about John Klingberg. Obviously, he was playing his best hockey when he was in Dallas, came back, and now he's playing some of his best hockey again. I guess can you just maybe have a thought on the chance you guys took on him and the payoff you're getting here in the playoffs?
Well, I don't think you can ever have enough good defensemen. Defensemen are so important, especially in the playoff time. With anytime you have injuries and guys having to step up, and because it's not as if a forward, you insert a forward, you can shelter that forward. You can, in fact, play with 11 forwards as opposed to 12, and a lot of teams do on a regular basis. But when you lose a defenseman, he's coming in. He's probably playing minimum 15 minutes, and you need him being a good player if he's playing that many minutes and in so many situations. As for John has been playing really well, and he hasn't played much hockey in the last year or so. And then even when he came with us at the end of January, we had the Four Nations break, some injuries, and just it wasn't a long stretch of play for him. But, he came in the lineup for Game 2 against LA, and since then he's just been building his game and getting better and better. And, a lot of his shifts, a lot of his time now has been with Wallman. They seem to have some chemistry together. But, we're very fortunate that Stan could see the importance of adding a player like John.
Have you kind of been surprised by his play? Are you a guy that goes, wow, he's playing really well, we got to get him back out there? Or did you feel that this was in him as soon as he gets healthy, as long as he gets healthy?
We knew he was a good player. That's why we signed him. We knew he could help us. What was unknown was his health. You can have all the reports and medical expertise to tell us exactly how he's going to feel, how he's going to respond on the ice, but until you see it and then him having the confidence to play his game the way he's comfortable doing, there is uncertainty. So, we knew there was a good player. Whether it was all going to fit, time was just going to be tell. And obviously it's something that's worked out well for us.
Have you felt this year that there's been a little bit more of an us against the world mentality from your group, just given maybe fewer people picked you to go deep, you'd had the injury issues, just in some of the way that the players have even talked a little bit, it's like there's this sense that people didn't believe in this year's team, and that's been motivation for you guys.
Yeah, well, especially with the at the end of the season. We kind of limped into the playoffs with so many unknowns. Leon was hurt. He hadn't played for 2 or 3 weeks before that first playoff game. Connor was in and out of the lineup. We lost Ekholm. Hyman hadn't played. Trent Frederick, Evander Kane. There was a lot of unknowns. And we're also lined up with first round playoffs against the team that had been the best team in the playoffs, in the second half of the regular season. So it was daunting. It was a difficult start for us. So I could see the uncertainty, people not picking us to have long success. But, being the underdog, that's fine. We're okay with that. I think what's just important is the guys stick together and want to do this collectively.
Your power play is obviously well respected and I'm sure well scouted. Do you feel that it can get back to the sorts of levels we've seen from it in the past, or is it just sort of a reality that teams choose to focus on in a certain way that it might have to be your 5-on-5 game, and it's not necessarily going to find that high end?
Power plays always go through ebbs and flows, and sometimes it's just not sharp. It's not clicking. Other times it's the other team's doing a good job shutting it down. The other time it's just being unlucky, not being able to capitalize on your chances. And sometimes you just score on bunches when the power play hadn't looked that much better than it had the previous 10 games when it wasn't scoring. And right now I'm not sure how many power play opportunities we've had, but it hasn't been many. We haven't had many power plays. It's not like it's been after about 100 opportunities, how good your power play is. But when you're only getting 2 or maybe 3 a night, then it's easy not to score. Even though it might be executing, looking good, getting quality scoring chances, the puck's just not going in the net, then it can get often skewed. And right now, especially that last round, I believe we had 1 power play goal, but I think we had our opportunities. And, once we don't get those opportunities, then it's a different story.
Do you expect Matthias Ekholm to be skating with your group soon? And is the plan to have him on the road with you?
We haven't decided that yet, if he's traveling or not. I think if he is able to join us sometime during this series, it'd be a huge bonus for us. And right now, he's on the ice with our optional skate right now. It's like I said, it's day to day, but whether he joins us at some point in this series, we'd be very fortunate to have him.
That uncertainty you were talking about heading into the playoffs, did you guys feel that yourselves as coaches? Did you kind of have to wait to see what you had here, or did you know that it was only going to be a match?
We had an understanding that a lot of the guys were really close to returning and being available very early in the playoff series, whether that was game 1 or at some point. But that being said, we didn't know how the team was going to respond, who was going to play with who was going to be in certain situations. And, that for the coaching staff, we were uncertain about. But as for their health, we had a pretty good understanding about when guys would be available and when they were going to be able to play. And there were certain guys that probably could have played if it had been playoffs at the end of the season. And we felt that why push that? It's important that, hopefully we've got a long playoff run, and why have them play banged up through that entire time when they could really benefit with some more time off.
So you start 0-2, not a great start to the playoffs. You're 8-1 since. What happened? Was that experience kicking in? Or are you just gelling a little bit? Or
I think a lot of it just gelling. You look at guys who just come back after those injuries. Evander Kane, Trent Frederick. Those are 2 that haven't been playing very much hockey for a long period of time, and then they come in and they got off to a solid start. Were they at the top of the game? No, but they've been continuing getting better and better. And, especially Evander, even that second game, I think he was almost top form. He looked really good then, with many other guys. I think a lot of it had just gelling, and also myself, just knowing who should be playing together and who should be out for certain situations.
24 power plays in 11 games, 6 for 10 at home. Those are the numbers. But I want to ask you about the PK. You deployed Connor and Hyman in your third pairing, but you've got Kapanen back now. Is that an option for you to use Kasper in the penalty kill, or do you still envision having Connor and Zach out there as well in the rotation?
We've got a lot of options. Podkolzin and Kapanen together were a really good pair for us. and they're pretty much our third pair, but regularly we use them and we have a lot of confidence in them. So right now we've got really 4 pairs that we could use for forwards, and all 4 of them we have a lot of confidence in. And I guess we have to decide on Connor and Zach if we use them and how much we use them. As you know, if we use them on the penalty kill, it's probably taken away a little bit of our offensive attack. But we have a lot of confidence in them in the penalty kill, that they are good at that. And when you do have a kill, the most important thing is having that kill. So I don't know. I think we're in a position that we've got a lot of good options.
You're playing a well-coached team with great special teams, but they did run 11-7 the last couple of games. How important is it for you to stick rolling the 4 lines over like you did all the way through the overtime the other night in Vegas?
Whether they go 11 forwards or 12, their depth is good. Like, they've got a lot of good forwards that can play more minutes, and if they do go 11, certainly there's a lot of forwards that they can double shift. So it's not that they're playing shorthanded there at all. I think our strength is our forwards also. We have a lot of depth, and they can play in certain situations and against other teams' top lines. And I think we had a lot of success in the first 2 rounds because of the contributions from all our forwards. And I think it's important that if we're going to have success going forward, that we have to have the same mindset.
Just building off of that last question, I was also going to ask about the shifts in overtime, because you had all 4 guys coming. Can you maybe talk about that element of trust and what that does for you as a head coach to have trust in each line, especially at this stage of the season, Kris?
Yeah, it helps a lot, especially during the Vegas series. And you could see the guys getting worn down. And it had only been a 5-game series, but it was a grinding series. It was hard. A lot of hitting, a lot of tight checking, and there wasn't a lot of space. It takes a toll out of everybody. And the fact that we hit overtime and we could still play everybody, and a lot of that, the 4 lines, the dependability of Janmark playing on that 4th line gives me a lot of confidence. But we got a almost 20 goal scorer. Corey Perry was on that 4th line. Trent Frederick, who we gave up a lot of assets for, we have a lot of confidence in him that he can play a key situation. So we've got a lot of good hockey players. So there's no reason to be sheltering anybody, because we feel that they can help us, and they have.